So in the previous videos, we had learned examples of various concepts related to Android, and we had a reference material in our hand, and we basically looked into it. And we had looked into some Android programs, like we saw a Hello World program and a login demo app, which was shown to you over the videos. The sample code was also given to you, and you should have understood it by now, and you should have learned it. And along with that, we are trying to move into additional topics. So we'll get on with the notes and try to relate the concepts that we have seen along with in the videos. So the next concept is regarding the layout resource, and layout resource defines the architecture for the UI in an activity or the component of an UI. So basically it will be loaded in one of the files as one of the files in the res folder that was mentioned before, and its syntax will be given as shown over here. This is something that you might have seen in your Android program, and you would have seen that there are various elements like views, and there are various groups of views called view group. So the next concept that you have learned is the difference between view and group. View group. So view are basically the basic building blocks of the UI elements, like the text view, edit text, and the buttons that we added are all coming under this set called view. And the view group will be holding this views and various other layout in the concept. So like in our program, we had seen the concept of a constraint layout. So that constraint layout can be seen as a view group. Now you have to read through all these notes to understand the basic concepts. So you can see it over here in this particular notes, and there are various attributes that are assigned to it, like Android ID, layout height, layout width. All these things can be understood once you read it. And in the practical scenario, I had explained about um, your attributes when I hope you remember the fact that in one of the videos I had replaced all the field with instead of text I had replaced with hint. So along with that, I showed various parameters like height of the text, the width of the text, and the size of the text and all. So all those things are there, and all those can be treated as attributes. So the attributes cannot be learned as a whole concept. There are because there are many attributes, and it would be different for different views or different elements. So some of the attributes are listed over here. You can take a look at that. And now we move into the drawable resource. So when we talk about drawable resource, it is basically a general concept for a graphic that can be drawn, or whatever you see in your Android app as a layout or as an image or as a logo, it will be coming under this drawable resource. So that is what you have to read along in the next few paragraphs that are listed over here. So we'll move on to this. These are basically related to drawables, and you have the format for the code over here. And there are different kinds of XML drawables, like shape drawables, state drawables, and transition drawables. Now, when we talk about drawables, we'll take a look at an example. So we'll get on with that. So what we are going to do here is we are basically going to put an image onto this WhatsApp app, and an app that is being built up. And basically you can see that along with the different options that we had over there, we had one section for images and media, or it could be different in the version of the Android that you are using for the time being. And basically you can see that it has got various elements like image button, image view, and video view and all. So basically if you are interested in putting in an image, it will be uh, selected from this one. So you get to put an image view. You're dragging and dropping it over there, and you can see that it asks for various options like the background color, the background concepts and all. Everything related to how you see it from a user perspective, it has to be defined over there. And then you would have set it in your as part of the code, and most probably then you will have different options being worked out over here. And then you would be going to a particular folder, and you are going to select a drawable, and you can see that your image will be drawn, or there is this particular image that is called desert. It was located at some other point, and it was dragged and brought into this drawable folder. So yeah, most probably if you have started working in your Android right now, you would have seen an Android Studio projects over here. Inside that you have all these different concepts, folders, and inside that you have a drawable, and inside that you have this particular element, that is an image called desert, that has been dropped into it. So slowly when you try to call that particular element into this particular program, you have the code for that particular thing. So now the image has been dropped into this drawable folder, and using your code you have connected that, or you have called that image into this program. And when you actually run the program using this emulator, you can see that the image has been displayed. So like these, this is the basic concept of an drawable, and you have various other options that are to be learned into. So that was it about drawables, and reading about this would give you more idea. This is a sample application basically to display Hello World, and that was displayed in one of the programs that we have already seen. This is all what I have been explaining in that particular video, the code and all those kind of things, the manifest file, and the r dot layout dot activity underscore main refers to the activity underscore main.xml file that is located in that folder. And as you already know, on create method would be one of the first methods that would be called when a program starts to run. So moving on, we have seen about manifest file. All these have been dealt with, and running the application, we have learned about emulator and Android virtual device. This was shown to you. So those who are yet to get an idea, you should read through these notes. Now you have to learn about basic UI design and some of the concepts that are involved, some of the screen components, and along with that you have to learn about layouts. So there are different kinds of layouts that are available now. Linear, table, and relative layout is available, but I would take another video explaining the different layouts that are currently available, because some of these formats of layouts may not be available right now. So it has changed a bit, but still you have to read through these notes to get a concept of what are the various things involved. So table layout is there, then relative layout is there, and all these parameters that are involved. So another thing that if you have noted, it would be like um, the measurement, or if you have noticed, I think when we edited the text size, you would have seen that it was represented as 14 SP. Now, it is not the font size that we are usually dealing with in Microsoft Word or Excel, but here it is defined in different units of measurement. Like DP will be known as density independent pixel. Here, 1 dp is equivalent to 1 pixel on a 160 dpi screen. SP will be scale independent pixel, PT will be point, and PX will be pixel. So these are the measurements of unit that are available for each screen parameters. Then screen density would be dealing with low density, LDPI, medium density, high density, and extra high density. So that would be dealing with the clarity of the things that we do. Some of the UI pattern components are given over here. So that few of them are action bar, confirming, and acknowledging. So action bar components can be seen as one over here. So you have the app icon, then you have the view control, then you have the action buttons and action overflow over there that are mentioned over here. So this is how it is known, and you know how all these things work because you would have been using an Android phone. But most of these would be related to an older version of Android, but then everything would be there as functionality, even though its format might have changed. Confirming and acknowledging, you would have seen an feature like this where you get to confirm whether you want to select or delete various items. So you would have mostly press buttons like this to confirm or to convey your um, options. So it would be dealing with confirming and acknowledging. So you can look into that. Settings would be there, then selection, help. So mostly when you select your photos for deletion or for transfer, you would have seen these options. So these all comes under your head of action, your UI pattern components. So you can read through that and get an understanding of it. Style and themes would be dealing with basically the color combination that would be worked out for each app page that you develop. So there would be a light based theme, and there would be a dark based theme, and all these are given over here. Now you have a list of table which brings about various UI features and their description. So you can have a read through this, which is available in the note. It's not about by hearting, but some of the options you are familiar with, and some of the things that you need to know. So we are moving into the next important topic, that is content provider. So that would be explained in the next video.